Good afternoon, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm going to take the time here to show you some knots that we use at Lucky the Irish Fishing Guide Service. I hope you're a fan of the channel, and I hope that this really helps some of you with some of the simple knots that we use here that makes our lives easy as a fishing guide. One of the things that I'm going to show you first is a Palomar knot. It's a real simple knot. You simply take whatever you're going to tie and make sure, of course, you'll have an eye to it or whatever it might be, lure, weight, hook. Take your line, run it through the eye of what you're tying, and then run it back through. Okay, so you have what's called your tag end, which is this end of the line, which is just simply the end of the line, and your loop end. Take your loop end and tie just tie an overhand knot around the line like that. Cinch it down. Normally you'd wet this so you don't cause stress in the monofilament. Take your lure, hook, weight, whatever, bring it back through that little loop and cinch it down. It's a great knot. It'll hold anything. I've had this knot hold and had hooks straighten out before that knot would break. I want to show you how to tie it again real quick. It's a great knot. Again, I use it a lot. It's really a great knot when you're in a hurry, say you're on fish or something, and the customers, or you want to make sure to get their line back in the water quickly. Take whatever you're tying, run the line through the eye of it, just like that. Take that line, run it back through the opposite direction, the way it came, just like that. Tag end, loop end. Take and tie an overhand knot with the loop on the tag end. Pull it down. Take your lure, hook, weight, whatever. Bring it back through the loop and tighten it down. And there you have the Palomar knot. Awesome knot. I can't tell you how many times I've used it. As a matter of fact, it's the main knot that I tie. Next knot I'm going to show you, I'm going to use is the trilene knot, or improved cinch knot, they call it. A lot of people call it. And it's a great knot. I use it whenever I'm tying fluorocarbon, or if I'm setting up a rig to use for fishing, and I can't use the Palomar knot because I simply can't bring everything back through the loop, then this is the knot I tie. And you simply put your line through, and you have your main line, you have a loop here kind of coming back against itself, and you simply wrap the line back up around the main line 4 or 5 times, depending on how light a line you're using or how heavy. Fewer times for the heavier line and more times for the lighter line. So you take your tag, you run it back through the loop you created as you were wrapping, okay? And then take and run it back again through the loop you just created, bringing it down to itself. And there you can see that knot before it cinches. If it looks like that, you've got it right. And then just go ahead and cinch it down. You may have to pull both ends so you get a good tight knot, just like that, okay? I'm going to tie that for you one more time. Here. All right. Take your line, run it through whatever you're tying. Pull it back up itself, wrap it 4 or 5 times. Again, the lighter the line, the more wraps. The heavier the line, the fewer wraps. Now you have your tag. You take your tag, run it through the loop you made when you wrapped, run it back through the loop you just made, okay? And there you have it. Tighten that down, good and tight. And there is your improved cinch knot or trilene knot. The last knot I'm going to show you, and really I don't have a need for any more knots too much other than these knots. There are some loop knots that are out there that I've used, but I do not like the loop knot as much as I like tying the double rig that I showed you in that other video. But it's when you want to tie monofilament to monofilament, or you want to tie braid to monofilament or braid to fluorocarbon. This knot will allow you to tie any of those lines together I like to use it as a leader for customers so they can see this brighter line, I'll tie it to a clear monofilament so they can see when they're getting that fish close to the boat and getting ready to swing it in for me. But it's real simple. I have the yellow line going from my left to right and the orange line going from my right to left. But you just pull it enough where you can take and loop the line around itself. I'm going to do the yellow first. So what you do is you create a loop, okay, where it's going to be going back, loops around going back the direction you want it to. And you simply tie, making sure to include the orange line, you simply wrap it, again, the heavier line, the fewer times. I'm just not going to wrap it that many times just because I'm doing the knot for you guys. And then you simply tighten it. This also depends on how many times, how big a knot you want as well. And take the orange line and do the same thing there. Take and wrap it around the yellow line and itself, making that loop. Cinch that down. Those two knots, they'll slide together and tighten on each other. And again, this is called the double uni knot. It's an awesome knot whenever I want to use it. I've actually used it when I'm fishing for stripers, but I don't want a swivel or anything else interfering with the bait. I might tie a 20 pound to a 10 pound or a 12 pound to give me just an extra little, what they call a shock leader, so that fish doesn't just snap that lighter line on that initial run. Cut the tag ends off as close to the knot as you can. You can usually cut them a little closer than that, but that will not interfere with that knot in any way. If you cut it down right down to the knot, that knot's going to hold. And go ahead and tie that for you guys one more time. Cut all those little pieces off there. Okay, so orange and yellow. Okay, again, take and loop the line, but going back the opposite direction you want it to, or going the opposite original direction. Wrap it a few times and cinch it tight. Take your other line that you're using, do the same thing with it. Create a loop and wrap it several times around both lines and cinch it, and then pull the two together. Makes a great, very, very strong knot. I've not had that knot break unless I tied it wrong, but it works great. Again, it's just a great indicator for kids or people who are first-time fishermen. They get excited, they're reeling that fish in, they don't realize how close they have that fish to the boat. You can kind of help them have an indicator, a visual indicator, and they won't reel that fish all the way to the tip of the rod. And again, you can cut that as close as you want. I actually cut it a lot closer than that at times with clippers. Love my danco pliers, man. These pliers are so awesome. And there you have the double uni knot tightened and ready to fish. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. All my contact information will be down in the description below. Or if you have a knot that you'd like for me to tie, or you have any other ideas for me for instructional videos, please put them in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care.